What's up, everyone, and welcome to Save the Game Boy, episode number 2, your Patreon exclusive Nintendo podcast presented by Save the Game Media. I'm your host, Kevin, aka the Muffin Mon, and if you're hearing this, then you are already a patron over on patreon.com/Save the Game Media. So thank you all for your support. We would not be here without you, and the show would not exist without your patronage. I am joined today by Mr. Physical Copy himself, Ethan. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, Kevin. I went to a pumpkin patch / corn maze yesterday.
Ooh.
We did a hayride. We got some brisket tacos and some kettle corn. It was like a fair, basically. It was more of a fair than a pumpkin patch, but it was a lot of fun. But I'm very tired. I walked like 10,000 steps yesterday in that corn maze because I'm not that good at corn mazes, Kevin.
I went to a haunted corn maze on Friday as I
Oh, no,
put
I
in our
can't do the haunted.
bro, the best part was I've been walking around the corn maze a little bit, right? And it was dead silent. Nobody had jumped out and scared us yet. And I was like, something big is coming. And then we turn this corner, and then just behind us, you hear rah, rah, and a guy with a chainsaw starts running at us. And I was like, bro, got me so good.
Hell no.
Yeah. That was great, but I got 19,000 steps that day, so I was walking.
Oh wow, that's a lot. That was a big corn maze.
Fun Nintendo Steps moment. Apparently, the pedometer that came with Heart Gold and Soul Silver, like little Pokeball thing, like it's like this big for audio
I
listeners.
got one right over there.
It's
Waste
like
of
a
money.
$50, about that diameter, and it's apparently one of the most accurate step counters on Earth.
Really?
And it was a Nintendo accessory. And like you could put your Pokemon in it and then go walk with them in real life, but like as a walking step tracker, apparently.
Did Pokemon Sleep ever come out?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Like,
I actually don't think it came out.
I don't think it came out either. The other voice you were hearing is, of course, the host of our PlayStation podcast, No Limits, and the predictor of the September 2022 Nintendo Direct, almost down to the hour there, Taylor. You just wanted me not to be able to see it. Bro, you said 10 a.m. on Tuesday, and it was 9 a.m. on Tuesday.
I didn't even know I predicted that. All right.
So, how you doing, buddy?
Good, thanks. Having the foresight I do, it's kind of hard being this good. It's just no, I'm doing fine, Kev.
Yeah, we got to get something else out of you this episode.
I'm enjoying the fall weather. Like the leaves are changing. It's getting a nicely brisk. Pumpkin pies in the air. Apples. Like I'm loving it. Fall's probably quickly becoming. I don't want to say it's there yet, but it might be that. I used to say spring's my favorite season, but I'm like, as I've gotten older, like I don't know, like this
favorite.
fall, I'm like, this is hard to beat.
I feel like as a kid, summer's always your favorite season, for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Well, once you become an adult, fall just hits different.
Yeah,
it's just cozy. It's good. There's good food.
There's gonna be great food,
family, all that good stuff.
Just get your sweaters out. I always associate like a nice sweater with fall. I love it.
I went to the gym this morning. It was 36 degrees when I hopped in my car. I was out there in shorts and a t-shirt because I didn't expect it to be 36 degrees. And sitting there, I'm like, warm up faster.
Kevin, how many times do we have to tell you? Go out, start your car, go back inside, finish your cup of coffee or your water, whatever you're drinking, and go back out when it's
definitely
warm.
not on the weekends. The girlfriend's sleeping. I have to be quiet as a mouse while I sneak out to go to the gym in the morning because I don't want to deal with the wrath of a sleeping woman.
Nuts.
I was listening to X Talk this morning on my walk. It was like 40 degrees at 9 a.m. Eastern, so it's getting cold, but it was sunny and very scenic. I liked it.
Yeah. Very nice out. But this is a show all about Nintendo, funded by patrons, as I mentioned, over on Patreon. And today we got a few topics to discuss. So we're going to start off with the aforementioned Nintendo Direct. Just a quick little recap because we obviously did our episode right before that, so we didn't really get. I know Ethan, you and Taylor,
me, Brianna, and Taylor.
You guys live reacted to it, so you guys kind of had a whole. You could give your opinions in the moment. Excuse me, but I had nothing. I was off at a work conference. Then we just got the Mario movie first teaser trailer. We're going to discuss our thoughts about that. And then for the main topic of the show, we're going to each pitch what we think is the best Nintendo franchise out there. So let's dive right. Oh, before we get started, gotta ask: anyone playing anything on their Switch lately? Ethan, I want to start with you because I
Okay.
think I know you are.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, I have started to play Diofield Chronicles.
Is it Diefield or
Kevin,
Diofield?
Diofield. I forget. They say it weird in the game. I need to remember how they say. I think it might be Diofield.
It's
Uh,
Diofield.
Diofield Chronicles. I've been playing through that. I got the demo and I played through the entire demo, which is a bunch of missions and all that good stuff. You get a good feel of the combat, good feel of the characters, how the game's going to play out. I really like the flow of it. I think it's more fun playing it on Switch than it is on console because I don't have that anxiety of getting achievements or trophies. And in a game like this, where I don't want to grind, because I think grinding in games like this is just probably one of the most boring things in the world. I just want to focus on the story and the characters and going through and doing different missions. And with that said, it's been very enjoyable. But here's where the snag hit, Kevin.
Okay.
I went to the store. I'm on the store, $60.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew it was $60 the whole demo. And I'm sitting there and I'm about to press the button. And I just cannot bring myself to spend $60 on a game like this. When I could go,
Wait a couple
played,
months.
You've only played the demo.
I played through the whole demo. Yeah.
I thought you had the
Okay.
game.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
thought you
so
were playing the game.
I guarantee you,
No.
like with a game like this, right? Diofield is published by Square.
Mhm.
Yeah.
By literally by Christmas, it'll be slashed by at least $20.
That's what I'm saying. Like this game to me, if this was 20 or 30 bucks, I would buy it in a heartbeat. But you're pricing it as like a AAA premium title. It's a decent investment to get into this game. And a game like this, I just can't justify spending that kind of money. I just spent 35 bucks to buy the Red Dead Redemption 2 Ultimate Edition this morning. That is an investment. That's hundreds of hours of content, very varied, big open world, lots of exploration. I can't do that with a little strategy game like this, where the whole premise is, moving people around and having them just do singular attacks and powers every now and then. It's fun, don't get me wrong, but I can't see it priced like a AAA game. I understand there's an audience for it and people pay $60, and I respect that. I don't want to, as the trophy room says, yuck your yums. I don't want to do that, but I love the game, but I just can't bring myself to spend $60 on it. I definitely want to pick it up though once the price is slashed a little bit.
I can't believe you spent 35 on Red Dead.
It's so good, Kevin.
No,
you don't want to be a cowboy spitting tobacco and shooting deer.
No, if I want to go sleep, I'll go play Animal Crossing.
Sleep.
Pow. No. No, I understand that, and I think Taylor is on the right path. I'm doing the same thing with Valkyrie Elysium, which is a PlayStation game. So I played the demo, and I think it's good, but it's not good enough for me to drop $60 on it. And just today, I saw Amazon's already got it listed for $50, so it's already dropping in price. And it came out like 2 weeks ago.
If it's not a first-party Nintendo game, you can expect it to be $20 off by like 3 months post-launch. I swear to God.
Yeah. I think it'd be good.
And I gotta say, Diofield Chronicles not a visually stunning game by any means, and it shouldn't take that
certainly
much.
On the Switch.
But on the Switch, there are times where it's chugging, especially when I do like the dragon attack where it comes in and it blows a bunch of stuff up, like frames everywhere. I'm like, whoa, what is going on? And
Trying to pick them back up where they go.
The loading screens feel like N64 loading screens. They'll just get like darker in different frames and then it'll go out. Like there's just clearly capabilities of the Switch that are just falling apart. And this is basically a brand new OLED. This isn't like a launch Switch or anything. And I'm like, okay.
Well, the internals are the same on the OLED.
Yeah. I just figured a newer Switch might run better than a launch Switch, but still, I mean, $60 for an experience like this, I can't justify that price.
Yeah. I love the game, and there is very little. I maybe spent an extra half hour to wrap up the get to level 50. The rest you just got by playing the game. So in terms of achievements, I completely understand what you're saying. You want to get away from it for a little bit, completely fine. But it's not a grinding game at all in the slightest. On Xbox, there was a performance and quality mode. I played performance, so I definitely didn't have any of those chugging. But
I don't think you would on the Series X.
I was gonna say Switch a little different. But who's your favorite character so far?
Who was the names are so long and
they're
British and weird.
Describe just what do they look like?
It's he has like black armor. It's a dude. You meet him near the end of the demo. I forget
what's his class name. Is he a archer?
Yes.
Ascarian,
that's his name. Okay. No. Yeah, that's what the guy who's the archer. He's pretty dope.
Yeah, one of
I
my
really
favorites.
like his attacks. I use a lot of his hail, like rain of arrows attacks as
Yeah,
people
so
are
good.
coming in, and then I have that chick who with the white dress who's the healer. That's
Walter
just healing us all.
Quinn.
It's good stuff. I really actually enjoy the strategy in it. Like it's pretty fun because it feels more fast paced than a normal like grid pattern sort of
Mhm.
turn based strategy game. Those are the ones I absolutely abhor. This one feels a lot more fast paced where things are constantly going on, and when you want to use powers, it kind of stops it for you so that you can actually coordinate your attacks. I really like that.
I will say just a tip if you when you finally do get the game, um, for Walter Quinn or any of the mage characters you use, your instinct might be there's a move called Meteor or whatever, and it
Oh, I
looks
love Meteor.
awesome. Yeah, don't choose that path. Go
No.
with the other one that speeds up everyone's attacks because you
Mm,
will melt through people.
This just
okay.
confirms my assumption in games that movement is always of the utmost importance.
Mhm.
Speed, whether it's like
Yeah.
movement in like a shooter or whatever or an RPG. If I can move faster, if I can get my turn, if my Pokemon speed is quicker, if I have more turns I can go before you, I swear to God,
Mhm.
video games movement in whatever form it takes always is the way to go.
Yeah,
It's dope.
absolutely.
It's dope for sure. Taylor, what have you been playing on the Switch?
Thanks. So I've been playing a bit of. Let me back up. So Mario Kart a bit. I finally got my gold wheels, which was nice, and then I played some Smash a bit, like I normally come back to because I still love the game resentfully. Um, I've been playing a lot of Mario that I've not been having success with. Oh, sorry, Mario in Smash.
Yeah.
But I haven't played anything besides those yet. But I've been saving my first time playing Luigi's Mansion 3 as my spooky game for October. So over the next
Yes.
couple weeks, I'll be playing that game for the first time.
Bro, it's like 8 hours. You can knock that
Love
out
to hear it.
in a weekend.
Look, no. For me, if the game's 8 hours, for me, it takes me like 3 weeks. Unless I'm binging it. And the only game I binge is like The Last of Us and God of War.
Mm. I binged Luigi Mansion on launch day and then
He
gave it
sold
back
it.
to GameStop.
Son of a
It's
bitch.
like, here you go.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. So I actually have been playing my Switch a little bit because I just picked up Super Mario
All right.
3D World
That's
and
another one on my
Bowser's
list that
Fury.
I
Good
opened but didn't
stuff.
play yet.
That's a fun
So-
game.
So it was on sale on Amazon, $40, and it's a game my girlfriend and I have been looking to play because she likes the co-op platformers on Switch. We've played through like Donkey Kong, Yoshi, all those other ones. So this was one we've been looking for a sale. Finally got it. We are about to wrap up. We only put like an hour into it because it just came yesterday, but we are about to wrap up the first one, and I like it. It's a lot of fun so far. It's very easy, which I think is good for her because especially she doesn't
Yeah.
like overly difficult games. But like the cat mechanics, she absolutely loves owning 3 cats herself. She's absolutely in love with like
I'm a cat
climbing
fan
up the
too.
wall. Yeah,
Yeah.
climbing the walls as Princess Peach. So it's a lot of fun. Another one to bring to Extra Life, Taylor. I think I'll bring that one because it's 4-player
Okay.
co-op. I think that'd be a lot of fun. So enjoying it. I'm looking forward to putting more hours into it next week.
I will warn you when you play in a group, everyone's fighting for that cat power up because it's so overpowered and it's so much better than anything else. So there can be some animosity between people playing that game, Kevin, but it's a lot of fun.
I'm fine with being Flower Luigi, like just shooting fireballs. Like yes, the cat's cool, but like I'm okay
Yeah.
with just blasting fireballs.
Yeah.
I don't
Fair
really need
enough.
the cat. So,
Do you plan to play Bowser's Fury at some point? Because that's single player, right?
yeah, I'll play that on my own.
Like
Yeah,
you'll Super
that's-
Saiyan Mario and Bowser turns into
yeah.
like raining hell.
I remember like just Kaiju Bowser and stuff.
Basically,
I
it's
was
Kaiju
like,
Bowser. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
that portion of the game is a little more difficult than the main game. I wouldn't label it as hard though, because I mean it is
it's a
still just a
Nintendo
Mario
game.
game. Yeah, but it's a lot of fun.
I will say the hardest thing Nintendo's put out recently is the final boss to Kirby in the Forgotten Lands. It's like a Dark Souls boss.
That's what
over
everyone
guy.
says. I need
Bro,
to
I'm
so
not
bad
even.
to play
The
that
rest
game.
of the game is super easy. Then you get to that final boss, and especially if you collect all the Waddle Dees and then do the true ending, he gets even harder. And I'm
Oh,
like,
It punishes you for going through and getting more.
I
of the
like
Waddle
looked up the
Dees.
true ending, which definitely isn't worth it. So I was like, all right, I'm glad I didn't do this. But like, they just made the final boss harder, and he was already hard. And I'm like, what are you doing, Nintendo? This game is made for children. But Sounds like we got some Switch games coming out. Next month we get Pokemon.
I might actually be getting it after all. I
Yes.
everything like every piece of content that I see pop up about it for people like post updates in Discord from the Pokemon Twitter or whatever, I'm like, this just keeps looking like it's getting better and better. And I didn't play Legends Arceus. I meant to, but I just haven't. I don't know if I will at this point, but I'm like, I might just cut my losses and ride the momentum for Scarlet. I haven't played a Pokemon game in like several years,
Oh,
and
really?
and I'd be getting Scarlet because red's my favorite color, and
Me too.
Professor's hot. So
Taylor and I, one and the same, folks.
there we go.
Okay,
I'll be playing Violet, so I'll be able to give y'all insight on Violet for sure.
My brother always gets the opposite one that I get. So then
Yeah.
whatever like Pokemon he has that I don't, we can trade and like
Yeah.
because he needs a full Pokedex. He needs not even just in the game, like he's gonna collect all the Pokemon, but in Poke Home or whatever that he pays to keep
Pokemon
all.
Home.
Yeah, he has every Pokemon ever like made in
I'm
Pokemon
convinced
Home.
that your brother can like pause time and do things and then unpause time because I don't know how he gets through every anime every season, all these different manga series, and he does stuff like that.
Well, look what his brother does with games. You two are completionists.
He goes through anime and light novels and manga the way I go through video games for sure. And he plays a good amount of games. Like Genshin Impact, he finished incredible, like all the new season content in like 3 days. So yeah, no life's that, but everybody's got their thing for sure. But cool. We can go into our first topic, and this is just a quick recap of the Nintendo September Direct. So we started off with Fire Emblem Engage, and I got to talk about this, guys. I know you probably don't care, but this game, the more I look at it,
I'm happy for you. I'm happy for Fire Emblem fans.
I didn't expect this. Certainly, when it popped up, I was absolutely like, what is going on? Marth showed up. I was very confused, and it seems like there's some sort of bringing spirits from previous Fire Emblem games to power up the current characters. I don't think I'm super in love with the new character design, specifically like the blue and red hair mixture he looks a little too like you're trying to be cool and edgy here. Like, why can't we just make the character look like semi-normal? But the actual gameplay, the more I look at it, I think it does look pretty good. I'm excited to see what the actual story is. I'm worried that they're getting rid of some of the mechanics from Three Houses that I love, specifically like the bonding elements and stuff like that. I didn't see much of that showcased in there, so I am worried that they're going to cut some stuff from the Three Houses series. But overall, I'm sure I will still love this game.
Yeah, from what I heard, that's like a core element of the whole series, though, is bonding with teammates and having that sort of relationship structure around different teammates.
Yes and no. It's taken different forms throughout the Fire Emblem. Like in Fire Emblem Fates and Awakening, you could pair up your party members and they could have like kids, and like there would be a mixture of those two like styles. And then like those people, you could have generations of children mixing and matching stats. You're basically like, what's eugenics? Is that what the term is? Where you're like,
look, people do it in Pokemon breeding, all right. Eugenics in Japanese RPGs, it's tales old as time, all right.
Yeah. So there's always been a case, and I hopefully there will be something in this game akin to relationship systems. I just don't think it's going to take the same form as what was in Three Houses.
Yeah.
Gonna skip It Takes Two. Then we got Fatal Frame, if anyone cares about that. Xenoblade 3 expansion pass. SpongeBob SquarePants we've talked about.
Oh yeah.
Fitness Boxing Fist of the North Star. Stop me if you guys have anything to go on any of these. Oddballers. Tunic's coming to Switch. Front Mission 1, 2, and 3 remakes, which cool, I guess. I don't know who's asking for more Front Mission.
I don't know. The most obscure game I get is like Yakuza Ishin. Okay, Ishin. That's like the most obscure Japanese game world I get. Okay, so most of these are going to be in one ear out the other for me.
Yeah,
for sure. Front Mission, for anyone not familiar, did kind of inspire Final Fantasy Tactics, along with like Tactics Ogre. So if you like those types of games, Front Mission might be up your alley. I don't really like mechs and stuff. That doesn't really appeal to me all that much. But
Gundams and mechs, nah.
yeah, Gundams are cool. Like I watched the anime, but like not that cool, right? Like
Yeah.
I know
then
some real Gundam fans, but I'm not one of them.
All the Transformers fans are mad at us now.
No, I like Transformers.
I love
all right?
Transformers, Bionicle. That was my childhood. Man.
Yeah, I like those. There's a difference
Okay.
between the then we go into the big plethora of farming games. We have
Oh,
Story
no.
of Seasons, A Wonderful Life, Fae Farms in here, Various Day Life, perhaps the worst name I've ever heard from Square Enix. Octopath Traveler 2 is coming to the Switch. Now, did either of you play Octopath 1?
No, Octopath looks and sounds incredible, but I know it's not a game in terms of gameplay for me.
Mm-hmm. That's
fair. That's the same I am with it, because I played it on Xbox a little bit when it came to Game Pass, and I love the art style of Octopath Traveler. I think it's absolutely stunning, but yeah, gameplay wise, not my cup of tea.
I really enjoyed the turn-based combat in Octopath Traveler. I think the story wasn't very
That's
good.
what I heard a
what
lot.
is that? No,
Folks
is
who like
this-
the gameplay was too disconnected between the 8 paths.
It was, yeah. There. I just was like, there's no reason for me to continue. Like, there's nothing driving me forward in this world. I think Kyle, and then I had a friend who actually 100%ed the game. He grinded it like ridiculous. So it does appeal to some people. This is coming to Switch and PlayStation, even though PlayStation didn't get the first one.
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
Yeah,
not Xbox.
Yeah, stupid Square.
Very cool Square.
Yeah, fun fact, Ethan. There are currently no Square Enix games coming to Xbox as of 2023.
I don't like that prospect. It's a little worrying.
After the new year, there's none scheduled.
Well, none that we know of.
I'm just
most
saying,
of the projects I think we know of at a Square right now are these obscure sort of SRPGs or JRPGs. We have to wait and see if they have
know
another,
Final
like,
Fantasy
Guardians of
16
the
and
Galaxy.
Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth.
But I don't expect Final Fantasies to be on Xbox. If I get a crumb every now and then, cool. But
We're getting Crisis Core. Why
Yeah,
are
Crisis
they
Core's
giving us
cool.
Crisis
I actually
Core?
might. Is the Crisis Core not turn-based?
No, it's not.
So
Well,
I
neither
might.
is the remake. So
Yeah, I haven't played the remake of Crisis Core yet. This might be my foray into how I actually get into Final Fantasy VII.
don't play Crisis Core before the remake.
Oh, okay.
It will spoil it'll spoil it. Just so
Alright.
you know. We get Theater Rhythm Final Bar Line. Cool.
Yeah.
Shout out Ryan Turford, who is excited for that game. Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope. This is a big one coming in 2 weeks. Anyone
lot of people
interested
excited
for
for
this
this.
one?
Yeah.
Anyone on this panel?
No. I'm excited for
Not
people because I think the Mario Galaxy style it's a really cool palette to put a game over. But I'm not interested. I tried the original on Switch. It didn't really click with me. I'm not a big XCOM grid strategy person. I know this is a more dumbed down version of it, but it's still not for me.
Kevin, are you not looking forward to that at all? Since you love your grid strategy,
I never played the first one, so I'm sure I would like the gameplay. I just can't get over I don't really care about Mario all that much in general, and then Rabbids, I definitely do not like. It pains me inside that Rayman's legacy is these stupid Rabbids.
Rayman Legends and Origins are like that's what should be their legacy, but when it comes to the mainstream, you're right.
Yeah.
It's depressing. We get Rune Factory 3 Special. Then we get a bunch of things coming to the Nintendo 64 online expansion pack, which there were some good ones in there. A bunch of Mario parties, Pokemon Stadium games, and GoldenEye 007.
Hell yes. I mean, I'm more excited for the Xbox version, but I mean, it's cool to see it again pop up.
But the Switch version has online and Xbox doesn't.
No one's gonna be playing online GoldenEye 007. There's not gonna be a battle pass. There's not gonna. It's not gonna have a huge battle royale.
If it comes out before Extra Life, local. I guess we can't. Is there not local multiplayer for GoldenEye on the Switch Online or Xbox version?
There probably
doubt
is. I imagine
You
there is.
think?
Yeah. How else were you gonna play multiplayer?
I figured it'd just be matchmaking.
Well, there's no online on Xbox.
I know.
What?
Xbox, screw off. I'm saying for Switch.
If
It's just gonna be meth. You think there's gonna be like co-op campaign on the Switch
no,
version?
like
Oh yeah,
like
so local
like
co-op will
4
be in both
players.
the Switch
split
and Xbox
screen.
Game Pass version. Extra Life, if it comes before then, man.
Yeah, go for it. We can all play it for like 3 rounds and be like, this game doesn't hold up nearly as well as we all
Yes,
thought it
it
would.
does. Don't
Mm,
say that. It
no.
will.
It won't. Sorry, it won't.
Wondering how they're gonna implement the one stick shooter aspect with both analog sticks. It'll be interesting to see.
Well, if you take apart the Joy-Cons, you only have one stick.
Oh, you think they're gonna go that route? That'll be awkward.
I don't know. I'm just saying, you could do it. Hope not. Joy-Cons are the worst controller in the history of the world.
Awful.
Factorio, and then this one says the pound. I don't remember this. LB. I don't know what this is. Mario Strikers Battle League gets another disappointing update and continues to be the worst thing that came out this year. That's that's in the description I'm reading. Swear to God.
When we do our game of the year, we need to also do our biggest disappointments.
We are, yeah.
So
we
we will. I can't wait to hear
you.
you rage about it. It's gonna be great.
Our game of the year discussions. Usually, I have everyone submit their rank their top 10 games that they played this year, and then like if you put it 1, you get like 10 points. If you put it 10th, you get 1 point, and do like a little ranking system. And then we also do most disappointing games. You don't have to submit those to me. You can just go for it. But
Good stuff.
It's funny. Yeah, for sure. Atelier Ryza 3, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Pack, Wave 3,
yeah.
Taylor.
Yes.
Excited for that, I'm sure.
I am.
Then we get Nintendo Switch Sports Golf has been delayed.
How? Why?
Golf. Oh, the free expansion golf has been delayed.
True. It's true.
Only at Nintendo.
Then we got Pikmin mobile game, but then Pikmin 4 is the thing actually people care about. Finally, Miyamoto said years ago this game was like done, and now they're finally like actually.
It definitely wasn't done.
I don't know. I don't know what.
Maybe it was done, and they were holding it for 6 years.
They've just been holding on to it this entire time. Polishing. Yeah. Have you guys played Pikmin? You Pikmin?
No,
fans?
but I want to.
Same. Yeah, I've never touched it, but
Probably emulate it.
It looks cool. I played a bit of Tinykin. I've seen a lot of gameplay of it, and it looked fun. And I hear that's very Pikmin-like. So,
kind of. It's Pikmin-like, as in you command, like you tell, like you do things with little people, but like Pikmin is kind of like an isometric, and you like click, like everyone go here, and then they like move. It's kind of like more of like a real, like a strategy thing, but. Pikmin's all right.
Seems cute. Yeah,
it's not something I played one of them, and that's enough for me. Just Dance 2023, no one cares.
Hey, Just Dance is a good workout, Kevin.
I have Just Dance in my living room. Actually.
Yeah, I got it for the Wii.
I have it for the Switch. You have to put the little Joy-Con and like.
Yep, and I don't know how it tracks. I'm just moving around. It's
infrared. Right, the Joy-Cons have IR sensors on them.
You only hold one though, so how does it know what I'm doing with my other hand?
Because no, it does. It doesn't. You're just supposed to mimic what the other hand motion is doing on screen. Like it doesn't know what you're doing.
Stand there and do this.
Expects you to mimic the motion.
Yeah, if I just move the Joy-Con to the location, will it count? You think?
Probably.
I don't take Just Dance that seriously, Kevin. I'm not sure.
I go harder. I get sweaty. Just Dance. Harvestella, another. I might have already said that one. It's another farming game. Okay. Bayonetta 3. This is probably one of the big ones for Nintendo's fall lineup. Anyone looking forward to this one?
No, but Bayonetta looks cool, and I had the original one digitally, and I should play it sometime.
Yeah, I mean, it looks cool. It looks like something I'd play, but when it's coming out, it's way too busy. It's definitely gonna be on the chopping block.
Call me when you make Astral Chain 2, all right? Then I'll be there. Platinum. Until then, keep shutting down servers. That's a Babylon's Fall reference, guys, in case you didn't get it. Master Detective Archives Rain Code. This is from I think this is the one from the Danganronpa developer. It's like a
that one looked cool.
game. Yeah, it did look cool, and you actually had like gameplay as
Yeah.
opposed to Danganronpa.
Like real-time decision making, but it's in combat. Like the concept looks unique and cool to me.
For sure. All the Resident Evil games are coming to cloud. Yay!
So
Cloud, yeah.
the only people who care about this are Nintendo YouTubers who need a piece of content to make.
Speaking of that, Sifu looking rough on the Nintendo
It's
Switch.
a little
Everyone,
pixelated. I'm a little surprised that frame rate wise it held up as well as it did.
I'm surprised it's coming to Switch before Xbox.
Oh right, that is a thing.
I
don't
feel like
know.
we're moving back into the realm of the DS era where they have to make separate versions of games for the Nintendo side, and it's just a really dumbed down version.
Yeah, I played Call of Duty Modern Warfare Mobilized on the DS. That was an experience.
Why?
Yeah, that's what it was called. Call of Duty Modern Warfare Mobilized. That was the name of the game.
Oh man.
And you aimed with the stylus on the bottom. It was a thing.
Oh my god.
We were savages back then.
Yeah. So I got out at the end of the Game Boy life, and I was like, DS, no, thank you.
Oh, no.
Although to be fair, if they'd called it like the Game Boy DS, I probably would have been in. But they didn't.
You hated the name. I don't like
They
dual
did.
screens. Get out of here.
Oh, that's right. Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion finally got its release date December 13th. We already kind of touched on that. Radiant Silvergun, I don't remember what this is. Endless Dungeon, don't remember what this is. Sizzle Reel, doesn't tell me what games were in the
Oh,
Sizzle
the
Reel,
game
guys.
Sizzle Reel. Yeah.
Doesn't tell me what
Yeah.
games were listed. So I assume a bunch of indie games.
Mhm.
Then we got Game of the Show, Tales of Symphonia Remastered. Coming to Switch, coming to Xbox, coming to PlayStation. I've got my collector's edition for Switch pre-ordered. I'm going to buy it digitally on Xbox too. Bandai Namco, here's my wallet. Take it all.
Good Lord, Kev.
30
I'm happy for
FPS.
you.
Come on. Why can they make it higher?
Because it's based on the PlayStation 2 port instead of the GameCube one.
It's so stupid.
Because the GameCube one didn't have as much content.
Oh, all right. If it's between frames and a complete game, yeah.
You want to know something, guys? I own
Yeah.
this game already on PC,
I know
I
you own
know
it
you do.
everywhere.
and I have the GameCube version. So if I ever got a GameCube, I can play the better version at 60 FPS. But yeah, I will buy this game 2 more times and be happy about it, smiling like, here you go, because. If you try, people have tried modding the PC version to 60 frames, and it makes the legs of characters like go all wonky and flip
It breaks
just-
the physics.
That's just fun.
breaks the
That's
physics.
just fun.
I love
It
physics
is-
tied to frame rate. That's my favorite in games.
It is funny to look at for sure, but yeah, I can't wait to actually get achievement. Hopefully, they fix the list because this game was put on the PS3. And it takes about 400 hours to get the platinum, which isn't something.
400.
Yeah, isn't something I want to do.
Does it have Steam achievements?
It does, and I'm
Is it
hoping
still
it's a different
400
list.
hours?
I'm hoping it's a different list. Yeah, I can't wait to play that though. We then got Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe. Taylor,
excited for this.
let's take it
This
away.
looks cool, yeah.
Yeah, okay. You were excited about this one, Taylor. You were like sleeper hit. Nobody's talking about it.
Yeah. Give me more Kirby. I still need to play Forgotten Land, but I always love more Kirby rep.
Yeah, I've heard
Ethan?
from a lot of the Kirby fans that Dreamland's one of the better Kirby games out there. So
Well,
I
Return
would
to
love to
Dreamland. There's like
or-
8 Kirby titles that have the word Dreamland in them, so that's why I say that.
return to whatever this game is. I hear that it's really good in comparison to other Kirby games, and so I'm really excited to jump into it. It looks a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Nice.
I'm getting this one day one.
Oh,
for sure.
I didn't know you were getting a Kev.
Oh yeah, for sure. Hell yeah. So
But are you gonna sell it back to GameStop?
no, I'll sell it on Macari, but yeah, I'm gonna grab it.
Okay.
Hey, we could do Save the Game Boy spoiler cast now. That'd be great.
For Kirby,
Kirby's Return to Dreamland. Let's do it.
there is no narrative to talk about. It's like, well, actually, Kirby is the most powerful Nintendo character. Like this is canon or something.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's true. He can destroy universes.
Yeah.
No, I love the Kirby games. I have since the N64. So with the Crystal Shards, and I beat Forgotten Land. It was one of the best games this year. I had so much fun playing that game.
And you
I'm super-
sold it. How do you just sell it when it's one of your favorite games this year? I can't fathom this.
To
Kevin.
get my money, I'm done with
tough.
it. It's over.
I can't.
I had
That's
the
tough.
experience. Time to move on.
Ethan, you understand where I'm coming from here, right? We're
I
just, like,
know it's hard.
It's hard. All right, Kevin.
You're gonna be Kevin. You're
least-
gonna be in your 70s, and you're gonna be crying when you just realize how much money you've wasted by
But how
selling
much
it
money
back.
I've saved.
No, some of those games are gonna be hundreds of dollars in the future, and all those memories gone, Kevin, all gone.
But no, the fact that you can play as like the one problem with Forgotten Land was if you wanted to play co-op, it was always a bandana D, and the bandana D experience kind of sucked. It was not nearly as fun. Star Allies also kind of wasn't great in
Yeah,
terms of co-op,
I heard
but
it had
this
free
one, like
DLC that was good, but that was something else.
I don't know. But this one you can play as like King Dedede, who's my boy, who's my favorite Kirby character. I love King Dedede.
And Return to Dreamland?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was in the trailer. You can play as Meta Knight and King
I
Dedede
don't know why
and
I just didn't notice.
Ooh.
I assume Banana Deep, or you could all play as different color Kirby's. So like if you want the abilities, you can have them, or you can play as the characters you actually like. So this one they're doing a lot for, I think, and I'm excited for it. So
Yeah.
I think it's February. So.
Yeah, that's what I think too. Let me see.
All right, guys. Now I guess we can talk about what's probably the actual game of the show. The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom was finally. We got a little trailer, name reveal, and release date for May. I want to say 12th, 2023.
Yes, I think that's right.
Mhm.
Guys, I know I'm not the Breath of the Wild guy here. Taylor, you've been playing it a lot recently.
Yeah, and then I just stopped playing it for like 4 weeks. But I was playing relatively recently. I was having a lot of fun. I think I'll probably come back and finish the game before. Like I think I'll finish the game before Breath of the Wild 2 comes out. This looked cool. This might sound weird that I'm about to say what I'm going to say, but I might not get it day one because Breath of the Wild. Listen to me. Breath of the Wild is a huge game where like I can't beat it in like quick succession. The way I play the game, it's like an Odyssey that I keep chomping away at. So it's like I'll probably be playing the game for like 2 to 3 years on and off, like how I've been doing Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
So I'm looking really forward to it. I'm not like clamoring to get it on day one because of how I treat Breath of the Wild, but it looks really cool. Link has a hovercraft vehicle. There's writing on the wall that Zelda lore nerds are going off about and trying to find every little secret they can find from those symbols. But the verticality and the sky aspect of it look really cool.
Yeah, I would second that. Is the verticality of the game is what's getting me, and I'm really excited to see all the new abilities and powers that Link has, and see how people can absolutely break them and do some crazy stuff. And now YouTubers have 10 years worth of content because there's still Breath of the Wild videos coming out on like GameSpot highlighting like new stuff. So it's really fun to see the community dive into that. I'm just looking forward to exploring Hyrule again and going around and finding all the secrets and discovering things. It's going to be a great time.
I'm just happy that Nintendo podcasters will finally have something else to talk about besides Breath of the Wild.
Now we can compare everything to Tears of the Kingdom.
They've been milking it for 5 years now. All right, now we can move on.
They've been talking about Breath of the Wild for a long time, Kev.
Bro, I don't know what Nintendo podcast. The only one I listen to is Nintendo Drive. I just assume that Nintendo doesn't have any news, so they just talk about Breath of the Wild.
There's a lot of Splatoon, Pokemon, like Metroid Dread last year. There's a lot of
Metroid Dread was great. Oh,
there's a lot of cool Nintendo stuff that's been going on.
Nah.
All right, fine.
2018, 2019 was good. 2022 has been good.
What I will say, we are due for a new 3D Mario game. I need it
next year.
Please.
Or hear me out. How about a new Donkey Kong game instead?
That's fine.
We don't need Mario. Donkey Kong.
No, we need a new Mario, but if you give me new Donkey Kong instead from Retro Studios, I'll be like, okay.
Or better yet, Star Fox. That's what we really
You have Star Fox. You have Battle for Atlas with Fox McCloud.
Did you say Ethan?
What, on Star Fox?
Yeah.
You don't like
Star Fox is cool. Star Fox 64 is great.
I never played the 64
played
version.
64, Star Fox 64 in the
amazing.
3DS. That was
You
really
got my boy Peppy Hair. Dual barrel roll.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what that's from?
Yeah.
That's from Slippy the Frog.
Yeah. Oh, no, Slippy's annoying. You save her, and then immediately she's like, help me, Fox. I'm like, I just saved you.
Wait, Slippy's a girl?
I thought so. I remember this being a debate I've had with other people that some people think Slippy's a boy, some people think Slippy's a girl. Is Slippy
Slippy Star Fox.
I didn't know what gender
frog?
Slippy was. I just thought it was never definitive.
Slippy
Uh,
is a frog.
Slippy Toad, gender
Oh,
male.
Toad. Male.
Oh,
Yeah, get dunked on.
What?
whooped.
All right, I guess I'm wrong.
Your
Yeah.
whole life is in shambles now.
It's been a lie. I thought Slippy was a girl. I've been misgendering Slippy Toad.
Terrible.
And you know what? I don't like you, Slippy. I don't care what gender you are. You're a bad pilot.
New Star
Okay.
Fox would be cool. But anyway.
Yeah, for sure. We have one more thing to talk about, not for this direct, but last week we got the first direct for the Mario movie, and we could watch it if you guys want. It's a Patreon show, or we could just talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Taylor, okay, we'll just talk about it. Taylor, what were your thoughts on the trailer?
I thought it looked good. I thought the animation was excellent. Jack Black as Bowser is right on point. Chris Pratt as Mario is stupid and is really stupid, but I think it's stupid in the comedic sense where it's like it's so dumb it's funny rather than this is so cringe I can't watch. I know a lot of people held that latter opinion I just said, but I think the fidelity of everything looks good. I like no complaints really. I was surprised at how much I liked the animation and how the trailer handled itself. Just Chris Pratt's voice is funny. I guess that's my only quote unquote knock on it. I don't know.
Ethan?
Yeah, I loved it. I think the animation looks crisp. It looks absolutely beautiful. I'm excited to see more of the world. I love the sort of creative direction they're taking with Bowser, with Jack Black voicing him. I thought that we were going to see a more comedic version of Bowser, and I was kind of hesitant about that, but it seems like they're going full out. Bowser's this evil badass general of the what are they called? The Koopas. Koopas, the general of the Koopas. I love his floating island with the volcano in it that can just go to different places and invade. I think that's really badass. And I think also with this trailer, all the comedy points on this really hit for me. Like I was laughing through that whole trailer. I really loved that beginning when the penguins came out and they were throwing the snowballs, and that one big snowball hit that trooper. Do you yield? It was just goofy. I could just tell this movie's just going to be a bunch of laughs and it's going to be a great time. And I really love what's his name? I just know him as Keegan Michael
Key.
Keegan Michael Key. Yeah, that's his full name. I love his performance as Toad.
He's Toad.
I couldn't even tell it was him when he
no.
first did it, but I think it's just done really well. But yeah, really, really excited. The only question mark for me is Chris Pratt as Mario. I would like to hear more of that because like I was on the edge the whole time. Like, is this going to be good? Is it going to be weird? I don't know. One thing that I think was a missed opportunity, I want to hear Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. Just give it. I'm hoping he has a bigger part in the movie than just like a short appearance. Because I'd love to hear Donkey Kong as Seth Rogen. It'll be really funny. But yeah, I loved it.
Yeah. So I was much like you guys. I think the animation wise looks absolutely stunning. I didn't expect it to look that good. It was absolutely gorgeous to look at, especially like the detail on Bowser. I was like, man, he looks so good. Voice acting wise, I don't have a problem with anyone that I heard. I thought everyone was great. The comedic timing was excellent. Jack Black was killing it as Bowser, as far as I'm concerned. I was like, that doesn't sound like okay. That's
I'm going to watch the movie. Like,
comes out on my birthday. So,
all right, when's your birthday? When is the movie?
April 7th.
Awesome.
Yeah, so maybe I'll go see it for my birthday. That would be a fun treat, hopefully, or unless it sucks. But then, it'll be fun either way because then I can make fun of it the whole time. My only concern is still Chris Pratt's voice because when he got pushed out the portal, or whatever, it was coming down the mushrooms, right?
Pipe.
Like, was it a pipe? I don't know why.
Was
he came out of a pipe. He came out of a pipe.
I don't know why. I couldn't remember where he came out of. I just something appeared. He got spit out, which leads me to believe like he's probably like from New Donk City. I imagine the movie opens up and then he like gets brought to the Mushroom Kingdom.
What is it? Someone, I think Seth from the Nintendo Drive pointed out on Toad's backpack. It has the patches of the different kingdoms Mario visits in Mario Odyssey. So like, cool. I think this looks like his first. This is like not canon, but like first foray into the Mario becoming the Mario platformer, and that would mean he has to make a transition from his day-to-day 9-to-5 plumbing job to the savior of the Mushroom Kingdom. So I think I'd say there's like an 80% chance it's from New Donk City.
Yeah. So his voice when he was getting knocked down the mushrooms was a little like, okay, that just sounds like Chris Pratt. But then he does do a little like New Yorker accent at the end. He's like, we're off to the Mushroom Kingdom or whatever. That I'm like, okay, if he can keep that, then I can deal with like, because it wasn't as bad as like I thought, but it wasn't as good as I think Mario should sound. I will say Mario's face and body looks a little off to me.
His butt. Everyone's talking about his butt.
Everyone's talking about his butt. I've seen those comparisons.
I don't really have an opinion. I'm like, whatever.
I don't care about his butt. I think his face is too small, though. I've seen there's a Reddit thing where it's like they make his mustache and like everything bigger, and like it just looks like Mario more as opposed to like it's a little small on his face. So I saw some people comparing him to original Sonic, and I was like, all right, he's not that egregious, guys. Let's calm down here. But I'm excited for it. I think it'll be a good time. And hopefully we're getting into the era of good video game movies because Sonic 1 and 2 were bangers, guys. Let's be real.
I didn't see him.
They're great. They're great movies. They're hilarious.
Yeah. It seems like all the kid movies are bangers, and like the live action serious ones aren't. Like the Resident Evil movie, the Monster Hunter movie, Uncharted seemed like it was mixed. Yeah.
Uncharted did well at the box office though, so we're definitely getting a sequel to that.
Well, also they prepared one of the reasons they cast Tom Holland was so we could still have that younger face in like at least one more iteration.
Yeah, and that's like red meat for a casual audience, is like treasure hunting, exploration sort of movies.
Indiana Jones.
Yeah, Indiana Jones type stuff. They love it.
Let me know when he steals the Declaration of Independence.
Exactly.
All right. Then
National
I'll be
treasure.
there.
Yeah.
Just cast Nick Cage and everything. That's a mistake. They should have cast Nick Cage for something in the Mario movie. Come on. We had to do something with him.
No.
He needs to be in everything. He's an absolute genius, Kevin.
No, he isn't.
Yes, he is. He's a masterpiece of a human.
Nick Cage has some good movies, but he has a lot more bad movies than he has good movies. Let's be real here, guys.
He was in a movie, I forget the title. It's a horror movie, and it's basically a rip off of Five Nights at Freddy's. And he's this guy that goes into this town, and they fix his car for free. And they're like, oh, you just got to clean out this old pizza joint with all these animatronics in it to do it. He doesn't say a single line in the movie. The whole thing is just him cleaning this place up while slaughtering these animatronics, and people are trying to get him out and like rescue him, but he doesn't care. He just keeps cleaning the place. Such a great movie. Y'all need to check it out.
I don't know what it's called.
Just look up Nick Cage Five Nights at Freddy's. It'll come up, I promise.
It's not Pig, is it?
Huh?
It's not Pig.
No, it's not Pig. It's not Pig. It's one of his. It's on Shudder, that horror movie streaming.
Is it called Willy's Wonderland?
Yes, Willy's Wonderland. It's so good. Y'all gotta watch that. It's so funny. He doesn't say a single word in the entire movie. It's so great.
Interesting. All right, guys. Well, we can move into the main topic of the show now, where we're each going to give our opinion on what is the best Nintendo franchise. And I do want to note, Taylor and I have agreed not to pick Super Smash Brothers for this discussion.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would just be us fanboying about how great Super Smash Brothers is. And nobody wants to hear that every single episode.
Oh, so Smash is your favorite Nintendo franchise, even though Fire Emblem Three Houses is your favorite Switch game.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, for sure. So,
and I didn't play Smash 4, and you didn't either, right?
no, because I didn't own a Wii U. Because who did?
Oh yeah, I started emulating on 3DS, and that's funny. But anyway,
Ethan, you want to go first?
Yeah, I'm gonna pick Pokemon. I think Pokemon throughout the ages has had a staying power that's greater than probably any other franchise besides Mario, of course, which is, the franchise of Nintendo. Nobody can really beat that. But Pokemon, I think you talk to any Nintendo fan or someone who has played Nintendo, they were introduced to Nintendo or they stayed at Nintendo because of a Pokemon game. I mean, I think every one of us has those stories as kids of playing Pokemon Red and Blue or Leaf Green or one of those other older ones. And it has just stayed throughout the ages. And I think what's so great about it, especially now in modern times, is now it's willing to adapt to a different type of audience. We saw Arceus come out, I think, earlier this year. Was that this year?
Yeah, January.
Can't believe that game came out this year. Yep. But yeah, that was a completely new step for the series that really freshened it up, and they did it really well, in my opinion. And now we're seeing Scarlet and Violet come out, which is going to kind of play on that and stay to the traditional version of how a Pokemon runs. And I really love that sort of iteration of it. But Pokemon, I mean, like I said, everyone has played one, at least one, sunk hundreds of hours into it. People love it. And it spawned this huge franchise that goes beyond gaming into, mobile apps, into plushies, into toys, into all these that we just talked about. How your brother has this app that he pays for to keep track of his Pokédexes. I mean, it's just a huge
Pokemon
cultural phenomenon. And I think Pokemon, even more than Mario, has become a huge cultural phenomenon. And I think that's attributed a lot to the video games because, like I said, so many of us were introduced to the Game Boy or the Game Boy Color or the Game Boy Advance playing those Pokemon games, and it's just stayed with us throughout the years. And I'm still looking forward to the new Pokemon coming up, and I'm going to be playing it on my Switch.
Now, so you make some great points, and I don't want to specifically because I did just Google it because I thought this was the case. Pokemon is the highest grossing media franchise of all time at 92.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
92 billion,
Wow.
which is
Hello Kitty's like second, right?
yeah,
That's
12 billion more than Hello Kitty. So it's not even close. Like
Oh my goodness.
92 to 80, it's like, oh, it's only 12, but like $12 billion is a big gap, okay? So yes, Mario is way down. Mario is 1, 2, 3.
I meant
4, 5,
specifically
6.
for like what people know Nintendo as. Like when
Mario's
you think
eighth.
of Nintendo for video games, people
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
first think of Mario. But
Yeah, Mario's 8th on this list. So Mario is like top 10, respectable for sure. So in terms of like money making, obviously nobody can dispute Pokemon. I just can't say Pokemon is the best Nintendo franchise because there's so many bad entries in the series, and Game Freak refused to iterate for literally over a decade. Like they just
But-
kept pushing out the same
Let's see.
stuff.
I
That's
would
what
say
I'm
from
Yeah, you go ahead,
Pokemon
Taylor.
Black and White. And no, I interrupted you. Go.
Oh no, I was interrupting you. You go ahead. I've talked
No,
enough.
you go first.
No, you
Oh
go.
my God.
all right, I'll go first. I think from maybe Pokemon Black and White until Arceus. That's like probably Kev. When you say decade, like that's what I think too. I
That's
know a
what I'm
lot of people
thinking
love
of.
the narrative in Black and White because it actually talked about the ethics of capturing Pokemon and holding them captive in a Pokeball and all that jazz. Like actually poking fun at the fundamental ethical and moral questions about Pokemon as this domesticated creature, which was interesting. But like between that and like 2011, 2012 until right before Legends Arceus, largely static. Still sold like hotcakes, but in terms of innovation,
Nothing.
not a terrible amount. I mean, we got more experience share, which some people actually got mad about. Mega Evolutions, Z moves. Mega Evolutions were cool in my opinion.
Well, I
They're
will
always-
point out we got an offshoot called the Rescue Team games, which I thought were some of the best
yeah.
Pokemon games ever.
There's
I played
also-
Blue Rescue Team like crack. It was
Yeah.
great.
Hey, there's also has a Switch. That's Mystery Dungeon, but there's also a strategy RPG, Pokemon Conquest. Came over the DS. Kev, have you heard of that?
I
No.
don't think I've heard of this.
Yeah, Pokemon Conquest. Check it out. It's a thing. Came out like 10 years ago. Spin-off strategy RPG. But yeah, I'd say for the mainline Pokemon games, there really hasn't been that much innovation from Black and White until Arceus, which kind of off-put me from playing most of the games there other than one or two in that span.
I just feel like in the last year they have done a lot to win back like my excitement. Like Scarlet, I'm
Excitement,
hopeful
yeah.
for because of Arceus. Arceus it wasn't perfect by any means for me.
I still want to get it.
Yeah, it was still a good game, and I think it was certainly better than Sword and Shield by a long stretch.
I bought Sword and Shield twice, and I sold them both times. I'm like, nah, this isn't for me. Then I bought it again. I'm like, okay, I didn't give it a good chance. I'm like, nope, still sucks. It's not true.
it was surprising to me as someone that like hadn't been in the Nintendo ecosystem for about a decade. I go and pick up Shield, and it was literally the same game I played on the Game Boy Advance. So like there was yes, they had like some little gimmicks here and there, but it was by and large the exact same formula. So when Arceus came around and they switched it up, I'm like, this is what we want, and I'm hoping they continue to build on that because even when they tried other stuff for me, like new Pokemon Snap. super excited for that because I have great memories of Pokemon
Oh,
Snap
yeah.
on the
Oof.
N64. New Pokemon Snap is a slap in the face to
Yeah.
Pokemon Snap fans. It is not a very good game. I beat it. It was fine, but it took out a lot of the fun of the N64 original, because on the N64 original, there were puzzles hidden within each level. Like,
Mhm.
oh, if you throw a random apple over this tree, like a violet plume or whatever, they'll shoot up and the
Oh, yeah.
smoke will make an evolution over here. Or there was just random stuff like that. And there's barely any of that present in New Pokemon Snap. It was very much like what you see is kind of what you get. There isn't much to discover. There isn't really secrets hidden in every level. There are a few, I will say, but not anything to the level of like, oh my god, like, oh, you can make Moltres come out of a volcano, and just it's just way cooler stuff in the original. So the Pokemon has kind of been letting me down for the last decade until the most recent year. If they continue on their trajectory and continue to innovate, then great. I think that is what everyone wants.
Yeah, I love the world of Pokemon though. Like even though, and part of the reason I'm not a big fan of Pokemon or haven't been is because the turn-based disconnect for me of like, even as cutesy and as fun as Pokemon are, like that still gets to me, and like the monotony of, okay, I got to go through the menus and then get out of the menus and the wild encounter, and then like I want all that to be streamlined. It seems like RCS took a lot of steps to start fixing that, and that's why I want to. One of the reasons I want to play it. But like I love the world, like the
Mhm.
world of Pokemon, the really cool legendaries from the anime. Like I love the media of Pokemon, but the
Mhm.
Pokemon games for me have just not been this magical, nostalgia-filled joyride that has been for so many people. Now, with that said, if there's a Pokemon that's nostalgic for me, it's Gen 4 with Diamond, Pearl, Platinum. That's all the more reason Legends Arceus is also interesting for me, is because like
Sinnoh region.
the Sinnoh is where I'll get a lot of that nostalgia coming from. But like I don't have this great connection to it like so many others do. And I wish I did. But that said, I still really enjoy Pokemon as media, just not as
Mhm.
the games for a long time.
So take that, Ethan.
No,
Oh,
but Ethan,
okay.
do you have any? Do you have a? Do you
I
have a
mean,
rebuttal? Do you have anything you want to add? Like, what's?
I guess, yeah, it's really the nostalgia that draws me to the franchise the most, because Pokemon Leaf Green was my Pokemon when I
Mhm.
was a kid. That was like the height of Pokemon for me when I was playing it when I was super young. And it's just stayed with me throughout the years. And you guys know I abhor turn-based combat, but there's something so comforting and so awesome about playing a Pokemon for me. It just transports me back to being a kid. And I think that's why a lot of older Nintendo players like us who don't uh, really connect with a lot of the newer stuff that comes out, I think that's why we stay on the platform, is for the Marios and for the Pokemon. And I think Pokemon, especially out of all of them, probably does that the most, because I think that was what was pushed the hardest by Nintendo back when they were starting to market in
Right.
the United States
Yeah.
heavily. And I can't get enough
Mhm.
Pokemon. Like you were talking about those 10 years where they really didn't innovate a lot. Yeah, it could get a little, you know, it's like, okay, I'd like something new, but at the same time, they were still just Pokemon games, and they just had
Oh
new
yeah, and they were
Pokemon, and you still had
sell
the
really well, and
strategy.
yeah.
Yeah, you still had the strategy of building your team and leveling them up and getting different move sets and all that good stuff. And yeah, like you said, they sold well, but they were still just your base Pokemon. To me, is still more fun than a lot of the newer games that are coming out on the Nintendo platform. So
And okay, did you play Sword and Shield, Ethan, or just RCS when it comes to Switch Pokemon?
I didn't play Sword or Shield. No,
Okay,
I didn't
Mhm.
have the opportunity to
or
play it.
Let's Go. Yeah,
I
it's
played
not
Let's Go.
I
I
played
played
Let's
Let's
Go.
Go.
I
Yeah,
like
Let's
Let's Go probably
okay.
because it was, the game I played 20 whatever years ago.
Yeah. I actually got Let's Go Eevee for my wife because she wanted to try and get into Pokemon. And then
Eevee's
I
just cute.
started playing it and I was like, oh, actually, I remember how great this is. This is fun. And I played through Let's Go Eevee and it was a really good
Mhm.
time.
Yeah.
I would have bought Let's Go Pikachu though, if I had to make
My
the
brother
choice for
bought Let's Go
myself.
Eevee's better.
Pikachu. I bought
Umbreon's my
Let's Go
favorite
Eevee.
evolution, for the record.
Who is?
Umbreon.
Bro, save
Oh yeah.
people.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
Let's see
lord.
them.
My brother likes, what's the pink one?
Which one?
It's
There's
like the
Espeon,
fairy
which is a
type.
psychic type, and there's Sylveon, which is the fairy type.
Sylveon.
Yeah.
He
Sylveon, the
has a little
fairy type.
plushie of it. He has a little
Yes, with
Sylveon
the
plushie.
blue
Yeah.
and white on the
Yeah.
ears.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Ethan, you saying Leaf Green was your childhood Pokemon game makes me feel so old because I just
Yeah?
Googled. Yeah, because I Pokemon Blue was my first in
Oh,
1996, and then
Blue.
Leaf Green came out 2004. So the fact that 8 years later you're like, that was my child, I'm like,
Yep.
Wait, but
That
you're only
was
6
childhood
years,
one.
5 years apart.
I know, I don't understand.
Game Boy Advance was definitely like probably my most played. Well, no, I guess I played my DS more than my Advance.
Did you
but
have
my
a Game Boy
Advance was like
Color?
I didn't have one as a child.
I was
That was a
too
little
old.
old.
I was too young for Game Boy.
But I
Game Boy
have one
Advance was
now.
my first console.
I have one now, Kevin. The color was obsolete technology when I was a child, though, Kevin. Come on.
That's crazy to me. I had the Game Boy Color for years, and like I remember going to elementary school and like bringing Game Boy Colors and like link cables. And
No, are you kidding me? Game Boy Advance was what was in my elementary school. It was like a disease. Like everybody had a Game Boy Advance. It was so great. And then you had to get the little light thing because if you were playing it, it
I had
was
that.
so annoying, but I
Wasn't
loved it.
The Game Boy
Nope.
Advance was all right. The Game Boy Advance SP was miles better. Let's be real.
Yes, and I
I
didn't
never
have
had an
SP, I
SP.
just had the slab. I had the Glacier translucent Game Boy Advance.
Really?
Yeah, I had the standard purple sort of translucent
I had
slab.
a purple one. But the SP was better because you like fold it up in a
Yeah.
square, flip it open,
Well,
it was lit.
There's
You didn't
actually
need the light.
for like game collecting stuff. Like fun fact, there's like the Game Boy Advance SP has two main models. There's what's called the AGS 001 and then the AGS 101. And the AGS 101 has the improved backlight. So when it comes to collectors, that's like the desired model to go for.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. All right, Pokemon's a good shout. Pokemon. I figured someone would bring a Pokemon. Taylor, I want to know what is yours that isn't Super Smash Brothers.
It's Mario. I mean, I know it's like like a really normie answer, but like I don't know. For me, let me just back up that saying so much of Nintendo's success in the home market, right? It dates back to at least let's say in the West for a second. Mario Bros. Duck Hunt. That was the game that put the NES on the map. And Mario Bros. Was the first game where it actually had one of the first games where you weren't just getting a high score, you were going to complete levels. It was groundbreaking in terms of how people perceived game design and what the objective of a game is. Some of the best 2D and 3D platformers of all time. On the 2D side, Super Mario, I listed Mario Bros. 1. I'm not such a big fan of Mario 1, even though it was my first game. I played the NES Classics version of Super Mario Bros. On the Game Boy Advance. Super Mario Bros. 2 USA, which I think is underrated. Mario 3, Mario World, and Mario Maker 1 and 2, I think some of the highlights of 2D Mario. And some of the best 3D platformers of all time, Mario 64, Galaxy 1 and 2, Mario Odyssey. 64 specifically, making that jump to 3D, like I still can't wrap my head around what it must have been like for someone like a Sean Capri as a kid to go from the SNES days to full 3D where you could jump around in this entire space. Like that kind of freedom and pulling it off on a well-designed game as a Nintendo, it seems like an astronomically high, unachievable bar to hit. But they hit that and pioneered it. Also, Mario is responsible for some of the best spin-off franchises of all time. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is the best-selling Switch game currently. Paper Mario, Mario and Luigi, Mario RPG, the Mario sports games like Strikers and, well, sorry about most recent Strikers, but Strikers Charge, Original Strikers, Mario Super Sluggers. I love me some Mario Baseball, man. Mario Super Sluggers is great. Luigi's Mansion 3. I've heard badish things about Luigi's Mansion 2, but I think you can always rely on a Mario game to be at least decent, at the least. Like the lowest bar for a mainline Mario game is an average to decent game, where most of them are good to great. And it's also, the icon of Nintendo. Like, Mario is the mascot. You have the Mario movie. I just think Mario, the red, and he's red. Like Mario is Nintendo. And I think time and time again over the past 35 years, Mario titles continue to innovate in their genres, and they're just a really good example of Nintendo being good at what Nintendo does. So,
yeah,
but Green Mario is better.
And Smash actually playing with the Waluigi color palette. The red
I
and
was gonna
brown.
say
Purple
green
and brown
Mario as
pearls.
in Luigi.
I know.
Yeah,
And Mario 1, that is green Mario. They have the same character model,
I
just with
know.
different colors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're just different
Really?
colors.
I didn't
Yep.
know
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But
You can
you
go, Ethan.
Yeah, I was gonna say what you guys were talking about Pokemon and how it refused for so long to sort of change its formula. Mario is the complete opposite of that. Throughout its entire existence, I feel like Mario, you could fit any type of game genre and they've made a Mario game about it. You have party games, you have
Mhm.
racers, you have sports. Like, I mean, Taylor lifts it off pretty much every type of game. For me, my favorite Marios are Paper Marios. I think those are so fun. I love 2.5D platformers. I think it's such a. I remember when the first Paper Mario came out and it just blew my mind. I'm like, how can you even change a game from 2D to 3D in the
Right.
middle of a game like this at any point in the level? It's absolutely nuts to me. Mario consistently has really pushed the bar, not just with Nintendo, but for gaming as a whole. I think we talk about Mario 64 and how it really changed, it revolutionized the gaming industry with 3D gaming. I mean, it's absolutely incredible what Mario has done for not only Nintendo, but for gaming as a whole. And I think everybody who plays Nintendo at all, there's a Mario game out there for you to love.
I think if we're being objective about this and taking out personal biases against stupid red plumbers, Mario is most likely the correct answer to this question.
Yeah.
What is the best franchise? Ethan, it's a shame they only made 2 Paper Mario games and then stopped. Real
Yeah.
shame that the 1,000-Year Door was the last one in 2004.
Stop
and
it,
then
Kevin. Origami
Super
King
Paper
was
Mar-
so fun.
and then-
Paper
Stop
Mario
it.
Origami. Well, I heard Color Splash and Sticker Star sucked, but I heard people liked Origami King and
I
Super
loved
Paper Mario.
Origami King. It's such a good time, Kevin.
I don't
haven't played it yet.
Are these like unreleased fan projects? You guys, I don't really know what you're
Taking
talking about
biases
here.
out of
I'm
the
going to kick
equation.
you out of your own podcast here in a second.
No, but I would say I like Mario more in spin-off games than his actual games. My brother is more he likes the Mario games. Super Mario Sunshine is one of he loves Super Mario Sunshine.
It's like my least favorite Mario game.
You either love Sunshine or you think it's the worst Mario game.
I think it's a bad game. I just don't. I think it's one of the worst Mario games, which means it's like a 5 out of 10 for me.
That's fine for me. Like his solo games they don't do anything for me. They don't get me excited. I love the spin-off games. Obviously, we wouldn't have Super Smash Brothers without Mario. We wouldn't have Mario Kart. We wouldn't have Mario Tennis, which I love. Mario Strikers, which I like the older ones. Yeah, I used to love an old flame here. But for me, Mario is great in those circumstances. I just wish I could connect with his solo entries more. And listen, I'm playing them. So like I said at the top of the show, I'm playing Super Mario 3D World. It's not like I don't play the games. It's just,
and like what I was talking about though, when you're looking at Mario and how many different crazy spin-offs they've had. I mean, we call it the mainline Mario games, but is that really what they are? I mean, Mario is just this phenomenon that you can plug into any game type, and I think the majority or movie, I guess now, the majority of people who play Mario games, I feel like, have sunk way more hours into Mario games other than the mainline series. And I think going back to what I said, how if you're a player of Nintendo, there's a Mario game out there for you that you love. So many people, Mario Kart, I would argue, is probably a bigger IP than a mainline Mario game, for me at least.
In terms of sales, you're right there. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Shout out Mario and Luigi, the RPG series.
Yeah, I think I mentioned that. Mario Bowser's Inside Story.
I know. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. I don't think we're ever at least not for a long time, because the studio that made those games shut down. It's like a whole thing. Yeah, a few years ago, unfortunately. Yeah, I love those games. So good. Yeah, I used to love those games. But for anyone curious, Mario has been in over 200 games.
Man,
that's including his main games and all his
now,
sub-series.
You might be able to say on a technicality that Donkey Kong should be the best Nintendo franchise because the first appearance of Mario was in 1981.
Bro, what are you doing to me?
1980.
Are you inside? Are you
Kev,
inside my head?
Oh no!
My pick was Donkey Kong, and I was going to literally transition by saying Mario doesn't exist without the original Donkey Kong is the best. He led Mario. He
let's transition. Let's make the transition now, Kev. Give us the
Donkey
case.
Kong, Donkey Kong ran so Mario could fly. Okay, all right. I'm not gonna say walk and then or
Oh,
crawl
yeah.
or whatever,
You flew with
but
the P-wing in Mario 3. You're
yeah,
correct.
yeah, yeah. But listen, my bias is coming out here now. All right, I could have gone with Fire Emblem, and it would. Some people probably expected me to because JRPG
I
weeb.
was half expecting you to.
But real talk here, guys. Haven't played that many Fire Emblem games. I'm gonna be real to y'all. I
Yeah, but the
completely
ones you
missed the majority.
played a lot.
Yes, yes. So I'm gonna go with Donkey Kong because I love the majority of the Donkey Kong games. And hot take, they're better than the Mario
Wow.
games.
I haven't played Donkey Kong Country yet, any of them, which I need to do. And they're on
I
Switch Online. Look,
so,
Tropical Freeze. Again, I've said it before. I'll say it again. Tropical Freeze is the best 2D platformer of all time, in my opinion.
yeah.
And I'm saying that as a massive Mario fan. Like I swear to God.
Tropical Freeze is probably the best platformer on the Switch. And that's why it makes me want another Donkey Kong so bad. But if we go back in history, like obviously start with the original Donkey Kong in the arcade, that is a far cry from what
Oh, yeah.
Donkey Kong is these days, right? Like there's a whole lore where it's like, oh, that's actually like Grandpa Kong now, or like it's a whole like that.
And it's not Peach, it's Pauline. or
Yeah, that's
something.
not actually
Mhm.
Donkey Kong. It's like Donkey Kong. It's a whole generational thing. Like the Donkey Kong we know today isn't the Donkey Kong that was throwing the barrels at Jumpman. It's a
Yeah.
whole
Man.
thing. And you go in, and I would say the NES and the Super NES is really when he started to come into his own. When you get Donkey Kong Country games, yeah, Donkey Kong Country 2, you obviously introduce Diddy Kong, and then you get Dixie Kong, and he has a whole DK family, and it's like there's a lot going on in the Donkey Kong world. He has some iconic villains like King K.
Yeah, some of
Rool.
the most fun
Mhm.
and antagonists in Nintendo, like K. Rool.
Yeah, and obviously Rare played a big part in Donkey Kong's early success because
Right.
they were involved in a lot of this. But
Donkey Kong 64. Oh, it was so good.
I like Donkey Kong 64.
I liked it too.
I
I
know it
haven't
gets a
played it.
lot of
I haven't played
flack.
most Donkey
It
Kong.
does.
Actually, the only Donkey Kong game platformer I played really is Tropical Freeze.
It gets a lot of flack, but like it is a good. I like it more than Mario 64. Like for me, I would rather play
Wow,
Donkey
that's
Kong
Really?
64. Yeah. Well, I like Banjo more than Mario. So I
Oh, yeah.
don't. I think
Okay,
Mario
yeah.
64 is pretty
Oh,
overrated.
well,
Like
to my credit, the first time I played Mario 64 was in 2021 on the decompiled PC port that had Odyssey tight controls, 4K textures, and unlocked 60
Oh
FPS on my
my
PC.
goodness.
So
okay, but like if you're talking about transitioning through the generations, like his Game Boy game, Donkey Kong Land, the Game Boy games
Yeah.
translated perfectly from what we loved in the previous generations to that, and then you. Just like Mario, Donkey Kong can do it all. He spins off into other
Donkey
genres.
Kong Racing's really fun.
Well,
Diddy Kong Racing.
Diddy Kong
Diddy
Racing.
Kong.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
get
yeah.
Diddy Kong Racing. But anyone remember the DK bongos? Okay.
Yeah, I was about to mention that.
Oh
comment.
yeah, yeah.
So like he has a rhythm game. He has the Mario versus Donkey Kong game. I mean, there's just a whole list of.
Introduced the Rumble Pack on N64, right?
That's another good shout out. That's a good shout out. And that Rumble Pack, just say what you want with it. I think it enhanced the experience. I used it for Ocarina of Time as well.
Oh, you could use it there? Was it
Oh, wow.
Was
I
it?
think
Could you
so.
use it on any N64 game, or was it only games that had specific things programmed into it?
I'm as far as I know, it was only certain
Okay, that's what
N64
I
games.
thought.
But man, like he has other series, and I would love. I don't even know what this game. There's another Mario and Donkey Kong game in
Oh yeah,
2015.
the minis. It's like a Mario Donkey Kong puzzle game.
Oh, this is
It's
not what I want.
Alright,
Okay,
fine.
I
It's
didn't
on
know
the
that
Game
game
Boy and the
existed.
DS.
This one was on the Wii U, and I'm okay with not knowing that one existed.
Mario vs Donkey Kong, or was this one on the Wii?
Yeah,
U?
no, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like for me, Donkey Kong is a better platformer. I like the characters in the Donkey Kong world better. Like I like Luigi, I like Daisy, I like some of the other side characters in the Mario games, but I love like Diddy Kong's awesome, Dixie Kong's awesome, Baby
Mhm.
Kong is awesome, Funky Kong is awesome. Like the Donkey Kong family is so cool. Maybe I'm just a simpleton. And I like
So cool.
monkey goes ooh, and I'm
I
happy.
loved using the surfboard as the bat in Mario Super Sluggers for Funky Kong. Very vivid memory. There was also Donkey Kong Country Returns on the Wii.
Mhm.
I didn't play that yet either, but it's on the list. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great choice. I don't. Also, okay, I guess I'm
Oh,
gonna divert to it. He has 4 spikes in Smash, which is really fun.
you know what I was about to say? He has the best stage song in Smash Brothers. The DK rap is
Oh yeah,
iconic. All
there you go.
right. So put your hands together if you want to clap.
All right,
I
but
do
Rumble
also
Falls
want
sucks
to.
as a stage. I'll take that to the bank. And Brawl, horrible stage. Hated it.
I do also want to say Donkey Kong. I think it's called DK Jungle. The map for
Yes.
Mario Kart 64.
Amazing, John.
One
Okay.
of the
Yep.
best racing, like just maps. Period. I've ever played. I used to play that over and over and over again as a kid on the N64. I loved it.
DK Mountain in Double Dash is
Ooh.
amazing. You get shot out of this giant DK barrel like through the sky.
Yeah, the cannons. They had that in DK Jungle too, and I remember being a kid being like, "Oh my god, this is absolutely insane! I'm flying into a cannon and it's shooting me, and I can fly around." I mean, it just mesmerized me.
Yeah. I know objectively I'm not going to win because Donkey Kong doesn't touch either
There's-
of your guys'
No
franchise.
objective. Come on.
But
Well, that's the thing. Donkey Kong absolutely should be put on a pedestal, I think, and I just don't think Nintendo has given it enough love. But I think there's a lot of people out there that would love to see some
Well,
bigger Donkey Kong games.
one of the reasons Donkey Kong might not have gotten as much love lately is Retro has a little project called Metroid Prime 4 that they're trying to get out of development hell. So, and they're
Oh,
working
yeah.
on the Metroid Prime trilogy or remake. So, like, they have their hands tied up by getting through on Metroid right now. So,
Hmm.
I don't have a. I'm not terribly concerned because we know Retro is being swamped with Metroid stuff right now.
Oh yeah.
But it would have been nice to get a new Donkey Kong game on Switch that wasn't a port. But like it was the first time I played Tropical Freeze was on the Switch because no one had a Wii U, like myself included.
Mhm.
But even if it's just a port of Donkey Kong Country Returns on the Wii, whatever. But it's more Donkey Kong content on the Switch would be nice sometime before we get the Switch 2.
yeah, for sure. So those are our picks, guys. Let us know on the comment section here on Patreon or in the Discord, which you can also find in the link. For some reason you're a patron and you're not in there. I don't think there's anyone like that, but who knows? Just future proof in this episode. Let us know your favorite. Well, you think the best Nintendo franchise is, I should say, not your favorite franchise, because my favorite franchise isn't Donkey Kong, but I think
It's Smash, right, Kev?
yes, it's Smash.
Yeah, my
It's
favorite
Smash.
franchise, I think, is
Yeah,
Smash.
my
second
favorite
favorite.
franchise. Yeah. Bro, Smash Brothers is so good. All right. You don't even understand. Okay.
I suck
You
at
just-
fighting games.
It's not a. It's a part.
It's
It
a
can be
platform
anything
fighter.
you
A
want. It can
fighting
be as
game.
casual as you want. You can be
right.
Pokeballs only. It can be a Pokemon killing game with.
I'm
your
sorry. When you
you
go
and-
into Smash, it's not casual.
You and
Like,
your
No,
you,
it's
you and
totally
your opponent can stand on one side each and just chuck Pokeballs at each other and see who wins. You could go in and be Mr. Game and Watch and just do the
Look,
the numbers. And see
every
who get a
single
9.
time I have played Smash just with friends or something, it goes from, yeah, we'll just sit down and chill out and play a couple games of Smash. I get sweaty instantly picking up those Joy-Cons.
Well, you
and I
can
go
get
crazy.
sweaty if you want to. Like Kevin
I
and I.
think he means he gets physically sweaty.
Yeah, like
Oh,
I start sweating and I start going hard and it becomes competitive. There's never been a casual experience for me. And it's fun when you get a big group together and I just lose in the first round of a tournament, and I get to watch
Like, does
everyone
it
else
get you
yell.
mad? Is that why you get turned away from it? You don't like getting that competitive with it?
Oh no, like I'm just saying you can't get casual with that game. I feel like I have to
It's
go
the
into
biggest
that game
casual
with a
game
certain.
ever, man. That isn't
I
Mario
know.
Kart. Like, I swear
I'm
to
too
God.
I'm too competitive. Even Mario Kart, I get really competitive with. I don't know why these Nintendo games they draw the demon out. do
Maybe Kevin and I need to like groom you into competitive Smash Brothers.
I don't think I would be able to do it. I can't memorize combos and all that good stuff. I'm just not that great at it.
You can become at least an average player just from reading your opponent and figuring out, knowing what your moveset is.
The only game I can remember doing well on was whatever the Mortal Kombat was on. I think it was the GameCube, or was it one of the older Nintendo systems?
I don't know.
The thing I like about Smash is you don't need to memorize combos. Like, yes, you have like your bread and butter starter combos that are strings that'll link it, but they don't have like quarter circle, half circle. Like you don't have to remember.
I just
those
remember
complicated
always
things.
being Kirby and flying around and letting everyone else fight, and then coming
my
down once
God.
somebody was at like 100%
Yeah, and
doing the
if you
down
want to have
smash.
that, that's the thing. It can be it can be that casual or as competitive Final Destination, no items, everything's flat. As you can make that transition in less than 30 seconds, and that's
Yeah.
what makes the game so fun. Any person, I feel like, can have fun playing Smash Brothers.
Yeah, we
All
can.
right.
We can.
Whenever
play
we
items.
finally meet up a Save the Game Media barbecue or something, we'll bring the Switches over and we'll have a good time. We'll give
Ethan, we
it a
could do
shot.
this online too. We could pop in voice. We'll do a free for all.
I'm not buying Smash Bros.
You don't
just
have
to-
Smash Bros.
Oh,
No, I've
okay.
always
As a
played it
s-
on other people's systems.
As a Switch owner,
Oh.
it's worth investing. You don't even have to buy the DLC. It's worth investing in at least the base game Smash Bros.
I will buy it before the barbecue that we have for sure.
Okay.
All right. Well, that will do it for this episode of Save the Game Boy. Thank you once again to all of our Patreon supporters. You make this show possible. We wouldn't be here without you. Until next month, let us know what you would like us to discuss. If you have any suggestions for topics for the show, we're open to whatever you guys want us to talk about. If there's any news, we'll probably talk about it next month, but it's Nintendo. So probably nothing for the rest of the year. We'll probably get a direct in the spring. So until next time, Ethan, where can they find you?
They can find me White Cedar 1 on PSN and Gravy3448 on Xbox. I don't have Twitter anymore. Go away.
Yay.
Taylor.
Ethan and I don't have Twitter.
All right, Taylor, where can they find you then?
On the Discord. I'm on
Oh,
the
yeah,
Discord,
find me
and you
there,
can
too.
find me recording at No Limits and The Leftovers, the other Patreon exclusive show, The Leftovers, where I talk about games, cooking, fitness, anything, any or all of the above. Yeah.
And you can find me at the Muffin Mon on Twitter because I like the platform and I like to engage with everyone over there. To 1 to 7, I own 7A. Follow us at Save Game Media. Stay up to date with all of our latest. Until next month, we'll see you. Goodbye.